Chapter 19. Max made her way into the main cabin. It smelled brand new. She couldn't believe how soft and cushiony the leather chairs were, and they reclined. Plus, there were all sorts of plump pillows and fleecy blankets. Her seat would be the most comfortable bed she'd ever slept in. She took a seat near a window. It was her first time flying. She wanted to enjoy the view. She wondered if her hero Albert Einstein had ever flown in a plane. Probably not. In all of the biographies she'd read, his trips around the world, to the United States, South America, and even Japan, had been by ship. He didn't travel a lot after he got older and started doing research and giving lectures in Princeton, New Jersey. So Max was pretty confident she was about to do something her hero had never done. Max also knew that one of Professor Einstein's biggest flops had to do with airplanes. In 1916, he wrote a technical article proposing a new shape for airplane wings. He wanted to, basically, put a hump in the middle. He theorized it would help the airplane generate lift, the force that pulled the wings up from the earth as air flowed over them. Intrigued, German engineers built a full-size prototype of his idea, a World War I biplane with double Einstein wings attached. The test pilot took off and landed almost immediately. The plane with the humped wings was hard to control, he reported. It waddled while flying, he said, mimicking the flight of a pregnant duck. Einstein accepted his failure of the humped wing design with his usual good humor, writing, "This is what can happen to a man who thinks a lot, but reads little." Einstein always embraced his failures. It was something Max had tried to do too, but like her hero said, only one who does not question is safe from making a mistake. Carl taxied the small jet to the end of the runway. "We are number one for takeoff," he announced through the speaker system. "See you in Israel, Max." The plane powered down the long strip and gracefully lifted off. Max could see the twinkling lights of Manhattan. She studied the familiar landmarks and pinpointed the location of the stables so near the edge of the Hudson River. Her friends were all getting new homes. So was she. Hers would be a lot farther away from the stables than the others. "Oh, this is amazing," she said out loud as the plane cleared the Statue of Liberty and passed over the necklace of tiny lights holding up the massive Verrazano Narrows Bridge at the mouth of New York Harbor. In a matter of minutes, they were soaring across the night sky, high above the Atlantic Ocean, headed east to Israel. Max knew she should close her eyes and go to sleep, but she was just too excited. The whole day had been so magical and scary and exhilarating. Carl and Isabel seemed nice and smart and super skilled. Was there anything those two didn't know how to do? She liked them. They seemed to like her, but they were basically total strangers, endorsed by another semi-stranger, Mr. Weinstock. Now Max was turning her whole life upside down because this trio of strangers had told her she needed to go to Jerusalem and join something called CMI, even though none of them would tell her why. Sometimes Max wished she had a real friend, maybe someone her own age, someone she could talk to about stuff, someone who might understand how she was feeling because they somehow felt the same way too. "Please be patient," Carl had said. "You'll understand everything later." Everything. Did Carl and Isabel know who Max was? Did they know how she got her last name? Did they know her parents? Is this what it was all about? Max certainly hoped so. As the jet glided through the starlit night, Max closed her eyes and initiated another conversation with the Albert Einstein in her head. "When will it be later?" she asked. Time is relative and flexible. The dividing line between past, present, and future is an illusion, although a convincing one. So I have to wait forever to find the answers to all my questions? The wait only seems long, Max, because you are so eager to learn the answers. That's relativity. Huh? Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a cute boy for an hour and it seems like a minute. Max blushed and changed the subject. She didn't have time for cute boys. She had to fly to Israel and hopefully find out who she really was.